Hey, what is going on, everyone? Today we are in a themed battle. This is if Gondor and their compatriot of Gil Amroth were evil. I know, really weird. But, yeah. This battle replay is by me. You know, hi there. FriendlyVillagePlay.com. I'm currently being shot at with a ballista. Which I don't know if it was the best to bring. Um, so let me go over the players and the army comps. So we have me, right here, commanding Mirkwood. I have four of these. I have four spearmen and I think three heavy infantry. Or do I have four heavy infantry? I have a bunch of two-handed sword units though, and I have these double-hand, these dual axemen. And then I have these. I do have javies right here. And then we have some archers right here that double as heavy infantry. Archers up here. These guys also double as heavy infantry. Um, we also have Smoking and Tolkien, friend of mine. He's got some of the more light infantry and some of the spearmen. Um, he has some missile units, as you can see. He mainly brought some of the more lighter units, and he really didn't bring. I don't think he brought too many archers. He did bring Cav. That's for Naris. He brought some spears. He also bought some of the more light units. Um, I don't know if he brought any archers. I don't. I do see a lot of cav, but I don't see any archers. As you can see, I'm moving these guys back. I'm gonna hide them over here. Yeah, I have 3 units of these two-handed heavy swordsmen, and I have 4 units, I think, of these spears. Is it 4 units? I think I might have only 3 units of these guys actually. It's very hard to tell. Now let's look at Strud of Dale. So Dale has some. He's playing Dol Amroth. He has some Tornstein Guard. He has some Tirith Ayer marksmen. A lot of them, I do believe, if I remember correctly. I can't. Yeah, some Tirith Ayer wardens. Not worth it, Stuart. I do not waste my money on Tirith Ayer wardens or any spear unit of Dol Amroth. Dol Amroth spears fucking suck. He does have a ballista, which was kind of a mistake. He has some Haven Guard and some Talon Knights, and some Balfalos Marines. And we also have, oh, he has some Swan Knights as well. Orkpawn, commanding Gondor, with some infantry, Swordmasters, Vanguard, more Gondor infantry. That's Chris Holm. Chris Holm's cool. Chris Holm's cool. But yeah, he also has some Gondor spearmen, some veterans of Osgiliath, and being protected by those not worth it wardens. As you guys tell, I have a hate boner for the fucking warden, the spears of Dol Amroth. Some Panithgaline Cav right here, which I actually like the look of this Cav unit. I don't know why I do, but I do. We have yet another ballista. Which, yeah, one ballista, okay, but they didn't really have a catapult. Some axemen, some vanguard, more axemen, some swordmasters, garrison archers, infantry, Peregrine marines, Gondor archers. Are you guys noticing something? Yeah, they brought a lot of skirmishers. Orkpawn also has some of his men down here as well. Now, I brought some elite units, and these guys are the bread and butter of this battle. These guys, I mainly focused down other skirmishers, and these guys I used to focus down heavy armored units like every fucking unit that Gondor and Dol Amroth have. I see, I'm already using fire arrows, which decreases the morale, and I'm trying to hit the Citadel Guard, because I decided why not. And he goes in the shield wall, so I just stop. I weakened them a tiny bit, though. Smoking Token has some cav out, you know, fucking with Gondor, but he did run into some of the spears. Already, catapults going off. And that Citadel Guard could possibly get hit. Now, we were told we brought too many skirmishers. Oh yeah, I forgot. There are these guys here, so that's... We did bring a lot of skirmishers for, you know, elves. But if we were playing Gondor or Dol Amroth, probably would have brought the same amount. Who knows? You know, he's bringing his cav back. That wasn't really a worth it cav charge. He did alright, though. He got some kills with that catapult because of it. And I'm just having these guys hidden here. This catapult coming right up here. Whose catapult is that? I forgot there was a catapult here. I forgot Tolkien had men here. He has some more infantry here. And he has a catapult up here. That's Inaris' catapult. I do believe he has a ballista somewhere. I don't know. I think he was keeping these units hidden in case my front fell. I think I told him to. I don't remember for sure. Yeah. They're gonna stick some men right here. Some of them were cheaper men. Now, I will say, these guys aren't worth it. They're cheap, but like... Well, these guys are worth it for what they are. They're cheap spearmen. They suck. They're sent in to die. Those wardens are pretty expensive. You know, these guys right here, they're expensive, but they suck. Wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend getting them. They look cool, though. I like the way they look. These men-at-arms, they're kind of worth it. They're pretty good sword and board infantry. I looked at Dol Amroth in my last video, kind of like, okay. I just don't like them. Because I can understand why people play them, because they have a nice feel to them. But I'm also more of an aggressive player. I don't just send in cheap units, I push through. Here they send out some Pelargir Marines to kind of, you know, go through here. But my troops are kind of on a lip, so it doesn't fully hit them. It hits some of the trees here. I'm sorry, I have my tree checkers down because I like watching the bigger battles. Yeah, my troops are also on a lip as well, so you're not going to really hit them. And he has some of his Citadel Guard up here. And he's going to move in his Gondor archers. Kind of like right here. I don't know if he meant that. I think he was trying to give me a push down, which I wasn't going to do. Now, I did focus too much on this choke point a bit, but this is one of the things where it paid off. We have, once again, them firing at these archers up here, kind of doing some pretty good damage, but I do like that they brought a long-range ballista. I think they brought 2 ballistas. Yeah, they brought 2 ballistas. One of them should have brought a cata. Because, if they would have brought a catapult, I wouldn't have been able to do this. And I really chalk it up to Inarus. I chalk up, like, our victory to Inarus. Because his skill with that catapult really, like, saved my ass here. As you can see. I'm not really skirmishing them down at all. I'm just hidden here. You know? These guys are in shield wall, so they don't get hit. Also, I recommend putting your skirmishers in shield wall right before you go to throw something, because it makes it so they get thrown, like, easily thrown through a narrow point. It makes that much more men, you know. What the fuck? Those trees just gyrating. Alright then. I guess I'm on drugs. Han's bloodletter on drugs confirmed. Too much D&D. Here we have another sally out by Inaris and by Tolkien. As he charges into Chisholm's archers. This is one of the many things that saved me. And Chisholm wasn't really able to do much about it. because he had sent in his Citadel Guard over here, and I'm sitting here throwing shit at his Citadel Guard, as you can see. And really, it was these guys who also, like, these guys were the bread and butter of my army. They're one of the only reasons why I won this battle. I am getting some friendly fire, though, but I did enough damage to them to where I felt like it was going to be alright. Yeah, you couldn't really do much about Tolkien's Sally out for a while. Now we have more people moving up. And I decided that I bring Javies because I know how great of armor Gondor has. And I do have a hate boner for Dol Amroth. I do not have hate boner for Gondor. Their infantry is not the best at all. But if you get a flank with swordmasters or axemen, it basically crumbles. There's more Gondor infantry coming up. And as you can see, there's not much of a consolidated full push. They're attacking in waves. And yeah, they're trying to soften us up, but we're on a hilltop. So, guard fighting to the death. So I pull out these missile units right here. I'm kind of letting them retreat. There's another unit of Citadel Guard here, though. So I start to throw in these guys. One at a time. I don't think I throw them in fully. And then they insta-break. It wasn't even because of my archers. My archers really aren't doing much right now. Besides getting attacked. I think these guys are doing something. I don't know what these guys are doing. These guys are hidden though. Yeah, here brings up more infantry to my defensive position. I still have these guys pretty healthy. I pulled out the other thing of infantry, and now he charges up these Gondor infantry, and I charge in my heavy infantry. Eventually, I move these guys to the flank, and this catapult is still pretty much fucking over Gondor. As we're over here, there's just a staring contest. Wait, what? They're holding bows and a sword? What the fuck are you gonna do with that? Goddamn elves. Weird ass elves. As we're over here, they're really trying to push through me. Which wasn't really smart. Because I had Javies? As you see, Chris Holm heavily trying to push through me. Which I personally would have avoided this area altogether. Now as you can see, I'm getting really worried. So I start to use fire arrows and I realize, oh shit, I'm killing my men. So I move these guys. As you can see, this catapult's still fucking over Gondor, really hurting their morale. And I still have Javies ready. And I'm starting to move my Javies to the flank. In the center, there's not really much going on. They refuse to go through the center for pretty good reason. At the same time, if they all kind of poured through the center, we'd probably be fucked because our artillery is there. And don't worry, we're gonna have a siege in there too. Next episode. But yeah, we're defending, for our home, our very lives. A lot of people said, Lothlorien, like my friend Tolkien said, Lothlorien is close, we can have those, right? No. No. Gondor can have two factions, I don't care. That's because Gondor and Dol Amroth is basically part of Gondor at this point. I think, anyway. I don't know for sure. But yeah, we still have... Now we have Tolkien's Javies over here, too. I did tell him to bring Javies. My Javies... The Javies are what really defeated Gondor over here. And Gondor didn't really have much support from everyone else. So right here, it's basically just a 1v1. Yeah, they had archers over here. But they didn't really send up anything that hurt me. Now, I know Chris Holm is pretty competent. I know Chris Holm's a competent guy. So they didn't really send up anything that hurt me. And they were both, like, these two were just focused up here. And it made for a weird thing where that's exactly what we deployed for. I was deployed because I thought Dol Amroth was gonna fucking rush over here. Because Dol Amroth has the attack power. You know, they got those Haven Guard, they got those Talon Knights, the Black Swan Vanguard. They have those pikemen, which could have easily pushed through my lines and fucked me over. But they didn't. I am the weakest link right now. And I personally would have avoided this altogether if I were the Gondor player. Now Orkpeon is setting up some of his infantry, which are actually, you know, I don't think his infantry are upgraded. As you can see by Chris Holm's infantry, if I can find some of his infantry. Chris Holm, where are your infantry? His infantry are upgraded. These guys aren't. I went quality over quantity as best as I possibly could. And yeah, they're starting to win over here. But I don't know if these Pelican Marines ran out of ammo, but he shouldn't have charged them in because now I'm probably going to move in these guys. This is what really fucked over Gondor the most. My heavy infantry and my other heavy infantry. On this side, at least. Orkpeon now going through, but without Chris Holm's combined assault, there isn't much he could do. Now, if Dol Amroth would have pushed me with his pikes, I would have been screwed. But if I were Chris Holm, I would have avoided this altogether, unless I turned around and went, "Hey, somebody, come over here and help me." But I would actually personally recommend going through here, because it wasn't defended at the time, and none of us even recognized that it wasn't, until I turned around and said, "Hey, that ballista's a little close to the front lines, Tolkien." He goes, "No, it's not." I'm like, "Look outside." He goes, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah, it's a little close to the front line." As you can very much see, we can barely... We're holding on for dear life over here. What's the fact that they're getting surrounded? Now, they did push in some wardens, which, let's be real here, they're not going to do much. Wardens kind of suck. I didn't see Stuart bring any Black Swan Vanguard, which I think are effective against armor. And he's still trying to hit me with the ballista, which, yeah, kills some of my men, but it's definitely putting in danger his men as well. Orkpeon throwing more infantry, and this is another thing. They're attacking me in waves. But they're not attacking, they're also attacking here in waves. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't attack this in waves. Definitely don't attack something like this in waves. This is a trap. If you attack something like this in waves, you're falling for it. Now this is a 3v2. There is no war of attrition that could be had here. Because yes, it's a 3v2, but we're defending a location where we have a height advantage. And we have makeshift land walls. Which, yes, you can go around. Right? You still go around, you can go through here. But these guys didn't really make a consolidated push at all. Finally sending up these pikemen, but it's a little too late. It's a little too late to send up these pikemen. Because, if I'm honest, they're not going to get through. They probably would have gotten through. But because they're attacking in waves, they can't really do much. Over here, I was very much close. I had to send in some of my archers, as you can see, to kind of hold this line. And they double as heavy infantry, so that's why I got them. And because they were supposed to break my lines, I didn't move these guys yet. I didn't know what they were going to do. Because I didn't want to get flanked. But in my opinion, they brought way too many skirmishers. I see so many Gondor players do that. Bring so many, like, Ramasakor garrison archers. You saw the last person I played against in a battle did that. Don't do that. Only bring the skirmishers which you know you need. Like these wardens. These marksmen, I mean. Right? These marksmen are great. Yeah, it's good to have these fodder archers. But Ramasakor garrison won't really do much. If you push Ramasakor garrison out at me, I'm either gonna stick my troops in shield wall or shove a fucking cheap ass troop in the way so you don't damage any of my actual troops that I want. As you see, we have a Pinnacleian cavalry moving in. I love their spears, they're so cool. We have Fountain Guard moving in. I think that's 2 units of Fountain Guard. Well, no, it's Fountain Guard and Gondor Spearmen. Once again, if you moved every single pike unit all together through here, that would have broken my flank. And you guys can kind of see that. Now, I'm not knocking any of these players. I know for a fact Stuart and Chris Holm are competent. They are very, very good at what they do. However, Stuart seems more the war of attrition type from the few battles that I've actually been able to play with him. And sometimes it is very good, and I have seen I know for I've seen him kick countless asses the few times I played with him. He almost won the battle that I had to, like, I crashed from. He almost won it. As you see up here, some of the more shitty units going against pikemen, but they're just too thin. That's the issue Gondor mainly had, is they spread way too thin. And they should have done a bit more observing and planning. Think about it. One person's guarding this. One person was guarding this. There's some troops over here, but that's not really that much, as you can see. The fuck are these? Oh, that's my general. What the fuck is that? Also, yes, having Cav is good, but he didn't use it to help his infantry push in like you normally would. Now, he is softening up my infantry because I'm breaking rule number 1. My infantry are just sitting there when they don't need to. Throws up some knights, and I bring up my fucking javies. I'm like, oh hell no. Now, there is some friendly fire here, because I got in the way of the catapult. I do move them eventually. As you can see, I am focusing down the veterans of Osgiliath because I don't like them there. Now, if you do win with some of the more fodder archers, good on you. If you win with the whole Gondor army comp that I see most of, good on you. Right? If you win attacking in waves on a war of attrition, good on you. But in a situation like this, and I don't know if they agreed with me or not. I don't think they did. But I told them they didn't really make a consolidated push. They didn't. Yes, they pushed all 3 points, but they didn't push all 3 points in waves. And like, there's one person guarding this. There was no people guarding it at first. There's one person guarding this. You either send 2 people through here, or all 3 of you attack 3 different points at different times, forcing us on our toes. Now that ballista, I think it was trying to aim at the catapult. And if it wasn't, just so you know, ballistas are snipers, basically. They're big fat snipers. Because they will snipe out any artillery. As you see, over here, they're fighting for every inch. And these Fountain Guard are no joke in this situation. Because they're doing the one thing that I don't see people do with Fountain Guard. And that's push. As you can see, Belfast Marines throwing... Belfast Marines, I think it is, yeah. Throwing their javies into these elves. However, they're also getting a bit of friendly fire. I don't know what makes them win over here. I think it's because I actually start pushing down eventually. Here come the guards of Osgiliath. Moving in. And now I know how good the guards of Osgiliath can be. So, where are my javies? Where did my javies go? Right here. I eventually move in my javies, I'd like to think. Or Tolkien moves in his javies and saves my ass. Now, this archer unit is not going to help. And these 2 units, which end up probably getting surrounded, which could possibly end up getting surrounded, aren't gonna very much help. They have no infantry support whatsoever. And pikes without infantry support really aren't that good. Tolkien has his men here. And I'm moving my men in. Now I'm depleted. They can break through. If they push hard with infantry support. And they're bringing up infantry support now. But the thing is he forcing his pikes through? Is he? Doesn't look like it. He just has a normal attack order. When you're doing that with pikes, you want them to push. Or if you have a unit that can go into skill chum formation, push. Now I'm very depleted because I ignored rule 2, and that is to retreat. I have not retreated yet. And I'm throwing my men in where they do not belong. Don't do what I do. Actually retreat. I am paying way too much attention to this one choke point, and I could very much cost my entire alliance the battle. Oh wait, no, we don't have another siege in next. We repel Gondor. So basically, here's the story. Gondor attacks 3 elven settlements. Thrindu's Halls, Rivendell, and Lothlorien. All at once. However, because of this, right? Because they didn't break through here, Rivendell finds out. Now, I will be attacking in the next one, so let's see how many of my own rules I break. Oh, what are these? Oh, they look like war scythes. I like that. I like those spears. Let's just speed this up right here. Oh, and I think at one point I was shooting at Chris Holmes' general being an asshole. Because I found out my archers can shoot all the way over to here, and I was shooting at his general like a dick. Trying to force him to come to me. Now I still have a very good force. But don't do what I did here. Yes, you get caught up in the moment a lot. But you don't want to ever do what I'm doing, and that is focus too much on one choke point. I do this all the time. I don't want you all doing it. You all have seen me fail at it. You all have seen me get surrounded. In the first Total War battle I have ever posted, well, not the first, but the first returning Total War battle I have ever posted. You guys have saw me get surrounded and lose my entire army except my catapult and my general. Oh, what the fuck happened over there? They probably beat him back. Oh no, they're flanking. No, they beat him back. As you can see, we were both doing that. We did not retreat whatsoever. And that's pretty stupid of us. Now that I look at it, what we were doing, we caused so many unnecessary deaths in our army. We did not need. We didn't want to give up this height advantage because we didn't think we could. We didn't think we really wanted to give that up because we felt like if we gave that up we'd lose. But I think we should have just given it up. Because the unnecessary deaths we caused to our army is foolish. We should have retreated. And I'm definitely at fault for it too. I stayed at one choke point and I refused to move, causing most of my army to die. This over here is a very Pyrrhic victory. And I should not have stayed here. I could have pulled back right here. I could have pulled back. Hell, I could have said, hey, hold this point, I'm gonna go hold the hill. And keep them from coming up. Or something like that. I just didn't want to give it up. I was being very dumb. And some of you could say, well, you were smart for not giving up that head advantage because you could have gotten flanked. Yes, and no. Because then I could just pull back and adapt. Because I didn't do that, oh my god, ew, that's a disgusting last standpoint right here. We could have pulled back to here. There are so many places we could pull back to and lure them to. And really force them to, because they were fighting more of attrition, which they could have almost won. They were being too passive. And so were we. We were being far too passive, and we could have damn well lost this battle. I probably should have pepped up and said, "Hey, we need to move from this position. We are going to get overrun." I was too overconfident in my victories over here that I did not notice what it was doing to my army. Do not be like me. If I have to go back to the Grand Siege of Mithlond, I want you guys to look at my Grand Siege of Mithlond video. I can't remember what it's called, but it's on the Mithlond map. Well, I think it has something about Umbar in the title. But I ultimately lost that battle because of my reckless idiocy and my stubbornness of I will not retreat these troops. It wasn't I claimed, oh, I can't retreat these troops. That's a lie. I could have retreated them easily. My stubbornness was I will stand here. And I lost my army because of that. Don't do that. I did it again right here. And I should have been punished. I'm glad I personally wish the other players would have punished me for that and broken through, so I would learn my lesson. But I had to learn my lesson from watching myself do it multiple times and then watching other people do it. Do not be afraid to retreat your army, because yes, you will take some losses, but in the end, you will get to a far better position than you are in for your troops. Do not be afraid to retreat an army. Ever. Yes, I want more story stuff, but for right now, I don't know what to do. I want to, hold on, can I see inside here? Oh, wow, I can. Oh, we could have pulled back to here. Once again, another place we could have pulled back to that we were too ignorant to pull back to. I don't think that's a heroic victory. I think what it really should say is stupid victory. Because we were pretty stupid in that battle. Both sides are pretty stupid. I'm I'm not gonna say I was smart in that battle. I definitely wasn't. Yes, I was smart for using my Javies appropriately. I was not smart for staying in one position and allowing my army to be so whittled down that I could no longer do anything with them. Gondor got a victory in one way. These forces are not going to go and attack a settlement. They can't. That's always what I like to think about. Can these forces get together and attack a settlement? Yes, to be over 1,000. But they're depleted, they're shaken, they're tired. They moved out to go attack a settlement. They lose. And that's what's important. Or at least to me it is. I do not think this was a heroic victory. I think this is a very stupid victory. Because if my troops alone, if my army alone or my army or my allies cannot go and attack another settlement, right? If my army cannot respond along with my allies, that is a loss. We won the battle, but in a situation of a war, we lost already because we cannot retaliate. We do not have the troops to retaliate. And yeah, Gondor lost a lot, but Gondor is big. Mirkwood is not big. Gondor is big. They got a lot of manpower. Mirkwood doesn't. I really feel like both sides are pretty dumb. But I think I already told Stewart of Dale and Chisholm this. Don't attack in waves. And Chisholm did exactly what I said to do in the other battle we just watched, where it's push. Now, he did attack in waves still, right? But he did two things right. He pushed and he softened up the enemy. And ultimately, he kept Stewart of Dale anchored. Well, this was fun. I'm going to try and do another battle soon. I don't know if it's going to be today, tomorrow. I don't know when. All I know is thank you for watching, and there will be another video tomorrow. Let me just